Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. So today's topic is reviving love. So that is, yeah. So today's topic is reviving love. Before we start the session, we'll do a small prayer. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Yes. This is an interactive session. There are a lot of Q&A as well. We'll understand some concept and then, there'll be some interactive discussion. Two of you can read through what is there and then we'll understand and we'll expand where necessary. So in the past also we discussed what is dharma. What is dharma? Anyone remembers? You can give whatever you understand. Explain. Dharma is duty. Yes, at one level, yeah. Our constitutional nature. Yes. What is our true duty? What? Yeah. Okay. Purpose of life. Dharma. Okay. Dharma is you can also say characteristic, property. Right? What are the properties of this? What is the core properties? Right? So dharma is an inseparable property of a thing. For example, for fire, to call it fire, it will have two properties. What are those? Heat and light. If either of them is not there, we don't really call it as a fire. Sugar. Sweetness is its property. If it is saltish, we don't call it sweet or sugar. So now we understand we are spirit soul. We are not this physical entity body, but we are the soul. So if we are the soul, what is the dharma of the soul? What is the nature, core nature of the soul? To serve. Yeah. So everybody in this world serves somebody or the other, right? So we know there is nobody, whether it is president or the peon or whoever it is, everybody must serve. That is how we express ourselves in this world. To serve and to love also. So everybody wants to love someone. If not God, you'll be loving God, dog, or something. Everybody in this world is craving for love. It is expressed in various ways. Everybody must have an object of love. In the beginning, we all start, everybody when they began, who do they love the most? Mother. They start loving mother. And one day what mother does? Mother introduces father. So because the baby is seeing somebody is helping mother, right? Every day. When mother introduces father, then the child understands, okay, now I love my father also. So, and then slowly siblings, their brother or sister, who are all helping them. So the child loves their, family. But the child, or the child doesn't care about the neighbor. If there is something, in India especially, you don't mind throwing, a banana peel to the neighbor. because they don't, I mean, they don't care so much about the neighbor. And suppose, after some time, this family marries somebody in that family, the neighbor's family. They don't anymore throw the banana peel because they have a relation now. All of us understand, for example, your brother or sister got married, or your cousin got married. Until now, you don't know anything about them, the family, or their brother, sister. But once you have the marriage happen, the alliance happen, now you will try to be respectful to them. You try to be favorable to them, support them, right? So now the love that was existing only within the family expands to family, like so direction. So the love now expanded to the next, the family neighboring to the neighbor, right? So in this way, love expands. So love expands, starting with one's own self, to their parents, to their siblings, and then to the neighbor, and then after some time you went to a college. Suppose you went to another state for studying. There you don't find your own same language people or same cultural people. As soon as you find somebody speaking in your own native language, say Tamil or Telugu, or say Maharashtrian, Marathi, you would feel suddenly a love for them, correct? Now your love is expanding towards people of the same culture and state, same language. You don't mind becoming friends with them, right? You have special affection for them. So in this way, love expands, from starting with our own self, our horizons of love expand. And then you go to, so, but you think, the country outside, or, not the, they're not as good as us, people think always, maybe in America, people don't have love. We Indians love each other very much. So we have certain notions, right? But then you come to other country, say America, here also you'll see, Americans practicing bhakti more sincerely than us sometimes. And then we realize, okay, actually, all humans are good. You start loving, your horizons expand beyond that. You start seeing, unity. So you start loving in humanity overall, right? So from starting one's own self, to one's own family, to one's own state, to one's own country, right? At one point, we were all saying, Mera Bharat Mahan, right? So, but then that expanded to loving other countries. We see, So in this way, love slowly expands, right? Yeah. So here, yeah. So every living being seeks pleasure, and the highest pleasure is in the exchange of pure love, right? We all want pure love, right? Suppose you went from America, you are working here, and you went to India. Your old neighbors or somebody, they are coming to you and talking to you nicely, but at the end of the talk they say, we want somehow to come there, or or maybe we need some favor. Do you like them? Because that's not pure love, right? It's just show love so that you can get something back. So we are all seeking pure love. Any adulteration we don't like. So similarly, when we go to God, what do we do? Most of us, before coming to this, we didn't know how to worship God. Generally, the transaction of going to God, what is the purpose? Huh? I need some help. I need some help with my health, or exam, or job, or marriage, or health, whatever. So it's always like that. So there is some motive, right? So that's not pure love. Yeah. So this is all explained here. We discuss this. So when one loves, so people who love humanity, is that the full expanse of the love? Is that the limit? Or is there anything beyond that? But the same people, they also eat meat because they don't love animals as much. But to love truly, to truly love, the highest expanse is when we love God, when we understand everybody is child of God. Now, with that understanding, will you ever harm an ant in your pathway? If suppose you understand everybody is child of God. So that is the highest understanding. That is the true love. Because now you expanded beyond bodily concept, not limited to human body, not limited to particular living entity's body. So when one loves God, Sri Krishna, then one loves all by definition. Right? So he then will not wish to harm any living being, owing to understanding Lord Krishna as the father of all creatures. So there is a 14.4 that says Sarvayonishu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavantaya Tasham Brahma Mahadyonir Aham Bija Pradapita. Right? So the last word, the last line, it says Aham Bija Pradapita. So Krishna is saying, I am the seed-giving father of all. I am the seed-giving father. So he is not just the father of humans, he is the father of all living entities, whether it is animals or living entities in water, aquatic, anybody, doesn't matter. Yeah. So and he also says, Pita Asya Jagato. I am the father of all living entities in Bhagavad Gita 9:70. So these verses. So only when we love God with true understanding that God is the father of all living entities, then can we truly express love in this world. Right? And most of the times, the so-called love we see in this world, it is not really love. It is driven by attraction. Attraction for something they have, right? Whether it is, name, fame, beauty, name it. But it is always the attraction. Attraction is different from love. So that's the concept we should understand. True love means you want to serve them. You want to serve them unconditionally. And we all are expecting that love in this world. That is the only thing that satisfies the heart. Why we all love our mother? Because her love is unconditional. So as soon as your college got over, you studied BTech in India. What do? Do you stay a couple of days afterwards? Or do you pack the same day? I always used to pack the same day. Because when you go home, you have the highest happiness. That's what you are looking for. Because there, your mother cooks nicely for you. You don't need to worry about anything. Everything is supplied timely. Your laundry, everything is taken care. Huh? You are seen like king or queen. So that is because there is unconditional love. So we all are seeking unconditional love in this world, but unfortunately, that experience is not met, right? So that is the definition of true love. Yeah. So incomplete love, we already discussed. If you are limiting your love to say your state or country, that is all incomplete. The only way you can love all, you want to love all, that is possible only when you love God. There is no other way. Because with the understanding that God is the source of everything, right? Yeah, once love is complete, only when one loves God. Since God, Sri Krishna is eternal, source of all souls are all eternal, therefore their dharma to love and serve God is also eternal, and it is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means Sanatana, the word in Sanskrit means eternal. Sanatana Dharma means eternal property or a characteristic of a thing. What is the eternal characteristic of a living entity or a jiva? is to serve and love. You can be truly happy when you serve. When your mother serves you unconditionally, she is truly happy. It's not that she's sweating because she's serving you. She's happy. Similarly, when we do any unconditional service without expecting anything, we actually truly become happy, right? So to really become truly happy, to really show that we love something, we actually serve unconditionally, unexpectedly, right? Without any expectation. Yeah. So why should some people ask, right? Why should I love God? So now can a couple of you take mic and read? We play the. So this is a conversation, and Ram is asking questions, Shyam is answering. So you can let's play this and understand. If you have questions, we can discuss. Or until now, if you have any questions, what we discussed, we can pause. If not, we can start. Mhm. No, it need not be. We are on the path, so nobody is perfect in loving Krishna right now. So everybody is on their journey, and in the process, we understand it. With that understanding, we can express love. Yeah. Switched on. Ram. Yeah.
Lord, Hare Krishna Gita speaking about loving God in the last week's class. Some of our people are challenging me. Why should I love God? What do I do with myself?
Oh.
Don't ignore sunlight, rains, wind, water, fruits, grains, cereals, stars, gold, silver, diamonds, etc.
We do. After all, we are all sons of God. Sons enjoy father's property.
Yeah. The sons can enjoy father's property. The son should also love the father.
That is a natural, duty, right? If you are getting everything from your father, naturally you love. It's very, unkind to not love somebody who's giving everything to you. That's natural. So now a few questions here. When will our love be considered complete? Okay, let's read the options. When we love all people of the world without considering caste or nationality. Why it is wrong? Because it's only talking about people or humans. When we feel pure love from our hearts towards all selflessly. But that's not possible practically. Without keeping the centerpiece, Krishna or God, you cannot automatically love everybody. That's not equationally possible. So when one loves God, Sri Krishna, then one loves all. Is that right? Agree? Yeah, that's the answer. So when we accept God, Krishna as the father of all creatures, Aham Bija Pradapita, yeah, then our love is considered complete. That's also correct. Yeah. So why should we love God? First answer A. We are his eternal servants, and it is natural for us to love him and serve him. Right? That's correct. So by loving God, we can get whatever we want. That's not good. By loving God, we can be saved from going to hell. That's not a great option as well. We are taking so many gifts of God from nature. Thus, it is our duty to love and thank him. Is that right? Yeah. It's our duty. Yeah. Because whatever we eat, can anybody manufacture? Whatever we breathe, whatever we drink, all has to be given by nature, which is under the control of God. Yeah. Yeah. A and D. why it's not possible? Because the understanding is not there. Why I should love? Because you need purification of the heart, and that will be possible only when when you have this understanding and practice, right? So if that is all not done, just like that, we cannot selflessly love. Just like, a tree is there. Without watering the root, can the tree be maintained? It cannot be, right? So the root is missing. Root is like Krishna. So you have so many branches, fruits, so many are there. They're all nourished by the roots. So only when you serve the root will the tree be nourished. You cannot serve individually each leaf or fruit, flower, fruit. So similarly, we can try to serve, other fruit, but it doesn't really serve. It's not, we cannot love each other individually without truly keeping God at center. True love, I'm saying like the highest degree of love. Yeah. We love our children because they are, natural expansions of our body, but it's not possible to just love without, proper understanding and realization. Hmm? Yes. Yeah, everybody has their own ego, and you cannot accept everybody's ego easily. Right? You will have somewhere some problem with somebody, right? But when you understand, okay, he's also child of God, I am also child of God. He comes with his own set of challenges. I come with, let's try to work together. Then you have a common platform to love each other, right? You're all serving together, God. So in that way, so unless one's heart is completely purified, it's not possible to love everybody. Yeah.
I agree. In our family, we do visit Balaji every year. My father never started yearly without praying to Balaji to ensure good profit every year. I also visit temples going for exams to ensure good results. I've heard a Christian prayer in my convent days addressing God for daily bread.
So once again, so this topic is, so this is about why should I love God? We understand because God is the root of everything. So this one, there are three kinds of people. There are atheists who don't care about God. There are pious people, and then devotees. Pious means Sukritina, means who has some pious credits. They are naturally good people, want to be good and have fear of God, etc. Devotees are not pious, just pious. Devotees are beyond that. Devotees are, want to love God. They're not expecting from God. It's a different category. It's next level of consciousness evolution. So we see a lot of pious people, right? Especially in India, many. So if you go to Balaji temple in Tirupati, every day almost 100,000 people visit. 100,000 people, right? So they're all pious. They have faith. They know if I go there and I ask, I get it done. They have a lot of faith in Balaji. Yeah. So now the same thing. Ram is talking about the same. Yeah. So they all go. So we are trying to understand: is that enough? Just having faith and yeah, sure. Yeah. How do we practically understand? Yeah. Practically, we can see, like, for example, the story of Draupadi, right? There is when the, what is that Rishi's name? Durvasa Muni came, he was asking for food after all the Pandavas have eaten food. You all heard the story? They have nothing to supply at the time. But then suddenly Lord Krishna appears just to save, his devotee. So he basically, asks for a small morsel of food that is stuck in that, Akshay Patra. And as soon as he takes that, all these, 50,000 disciples that Durvash Muni came with, they're all hungry. They want to eat food and they want to be served by Draupadi. Draupadi doesn't have, the Akshay Patra to supply, because she already washed it. Now, as soon as Lord Krishna eats, everybody's heart is filled. Nobody's hungry. So we can see by serving God, everybody is satisfied. So that's one example. Even today, like we see in, at least in a small level, like in ISKCON temple, there is always food supply. There are like at least Prabhupada said, at least 10 kilometers around the temple, nobody should go hungry. And and there is no supply. If we just follow the basic principles, God will take care. Right? So we Yoga Kshema Vahamiham, right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna takes care. Just answer. Yeah. Go ahead, Ram.
Appreciate the piety. Even Lord Krishna appreciates pious people as
Sukritina. Keep it close, bro.
Sukritinath in Gita, and he calls atheists as Dushkrinath.
Dushkritina.
Dushkrinath. No care for God or thank him for his gifts. At the same time, going to God only to ask for wealth and problem solving or curiosity is not good enough.
What more should I do?
Then without asking God brings us our daily bread. There is a food problem that is due to our mismanagement. When we align with nature and God, everything will be completely subside. In fact, we have to express our love for Him by our obedience to His instructions in Bhagavad Gita, prayers of glorification, offering our leaf, fruit, or flower to Lord, rendering services to Lord and devotees by cooking, cleaning, washing, worshipping, teaching Gita, loving Him, following in footsteps of Hanuman, Arjuna, Prahlad, etc.
Yeah. So in fact, we have to express our love for him by our obedience to his instructions in Bhagavad Gita, prayers of glorification. Yeah. So this is the right way of dealing. Yeah. So now the next question is God attractive only to some and not to others? Some people think, oh, if you love God, you go, don't disturb me. A lot of people have this conviction. Let's read through this.
Some people say it is optional to worship God. What do you propose?
Everyone is God. By his opulence, by his richness, by his power, by his beauty, by his knowledge, by his pronunciation, by his reputation, God is all attractive. Aishwarya, Samagrishya,
Virjasya Yashasha Sriya Gnana Vairagyastvaiva Sanna Bhaga Itingana.
God cannot be attracted for some men, not for others. Everyone is either attracted to God directly or through his Maya in the form of a woman. Wealth and sense gratification just as law abiders follow PM and lawbreakers follow chain laws. Maya is the chain partner of Krishna for the religious souls. We are intelligent, we can love God, Krishna. Serve him, go back to God and be happy forever. Those who are foolish, however, serve Maya.
Yeah, we think, I don't necessarily love God, but everybody loves something. It's not like, somebody may have, a cricket player, Virat Kohli's picture, that whom they worship, or Bruce Lee, or whoever they love, right? Everybody has some favorite, right? And who are these? These are just, they are attractive because of certain thing. They have a certain quality that attracts them. Like it could be beauty, name, fame, or a particular skill, right? But there are a small spark. They're like a, light glowing bomb. In the night times, there is glowworms. They just glow, and you are attracted to it. But it's a temporary thing. By the morning, when the sunlight is there, does the glowworms glow charm you? Yeah, Krishna is like sunlight. And all these great people, so-called great people, Alexander the Great, so many great warriors, where are they now? They all came for a short time, they lived, they became famous. and they attracted a lot of attention, but then they are no more here, nobody talks about them. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given 5,000 years ago. For decades and ages, people read the same shlokas and derive new meaning and new purpose of their life. And for thousands of years, people worship him. When great people like, Henry David Emerson and Mahatma Gandhi, all of them still, praise it. The greatest people in the world praise it. Einstein read it, Oppenheimer. So many people are inspired by it. So, it's very different. God is the source of all attraction. Everybody in this world are like these, glowworms, short term. You may be attracted, but they're actually deriving their attraction from God only. They're either, more beautiful for a short time. Even the beauty is also not very long lasting. For example, there was one video that shows, the Hollywood actors when they were in their 20s and now, like about, they're now in 70s and 60s. Like nobody looks like what they were before, right? So all this so-called beauty or, fame, name, they're all very short term. People are attracted to it, but, they cannot really fulfill their heart, right? So they expecting that they will be happy and satisfied. Even in India, there is a lot of movie fans, right? Or actor fans. But then they slowly realize, their so-called actor is getting old and they're having their own issues with their own family. They're getting the richest people, divorce. Why would there be divorce in a family of the richest man in the world? If I love somebody, why would I divorce? Because they're not able to even tolerate each other. That is the condition, and they don't want to be with them. Even though we're ready to give up all the fame, name, doesn't matter. So true love cannot be achieved within this world without having God as the center. Hmm. Yeah, it's just a term. You can keep it as man, doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll correct it. I think, yeah. So it has nothing to do with the gender. It's just a term. I think it was taken from somewhere. That's why it is kept that. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the gender. Yeah. Man or woman. For man, it is woman. For woman, it is man. It's the same thing. Yeah. 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 Ram.
Oh, that is true. I've seen our friends who claim themselves atheists but chase after opposite sex. Others are mad after sportsmen, some others are after Bollywood actors and actresses, and some are crazy for eloquent tech speakers or millionaires. But I wonder, Sham, don't these personalities also control and produce thousands or even lakhs of properties like their Sham? Can't we call them also God in one sense?
Yeah. It will be clarified now. God, the supreme controller.
In the Brahma Samhita, it said, Ishvara Brahma Krishna,
Brahma Samhita 5.1.
5.1. Ishvara means controller, or the powerful man who controls. Take for example the president or the king. So there are many Ishvaras or controllers. You are also Ishvara, I am also Ishvara. Because you also control at least your family members as animals. This controlling capacity is there in everyone, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. But we are not supreme controller. We are controller of some entities, but we are controlled also by something superior. Therefore, we are not absolute controller. We are little controller. But about Krishna, it is said, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Brahma 5.1. Parama means supreme, he controls everyone or everything. But he is not controlled by anyone. All other living beings like Bollywood heroes, sports heroes, all become heroes over something of time. When Sri Krishna was in Kurukshetra Bhanji, he was 125 years on the earth planet. Still he appeared like a 16-year-old girl. As God is oldest, then he appears young and fresh. So,
do agree, but I wonder whether God is a person or some concept. Because I see some of our spiritual minded friends consider God to be the what is about.
Yeah, so a lot of people understand God as impersonal, right? God is just energy, they think. But is there energy anywhere without energetic behind it? You see sunlight here, this is sun's energy. But behind that, there is sun. Without sun, there is no sunlight. Similarly, government, we say, government is an impersonal way of specifying, the controller of the entire country. But actually, behind the government, there is a president or a prime minister who actually controls who is in control of or in charge of the entire entity, right? So there is always a energetic behind energy. So whatever is manifested here, the life forms, sunlight, there is proper orderliness in all that exists in this world, right? So then who is actually managing this whole infrastructure, right? We have to manage one satellite in the orbit. There is a whole control room and, so many scientists are, constantly measuring the speed and velocity and, trying to make sure all the aerodynamics are followed properly. Anytime it can go, wrong. How about these planetary systems that are so well organized? Nobody's in control or what, right? There must be something that we may not be able to understand, but there must be higher control. So God is the supreme controller. So now let's understand, is God personal or impersonal? We in this world see, did you all see daffodils or a rose, the beauty and charm of it? So that shows the heart of God. You see, the natural beauty in this world. At the same time, you see the orderliness, the enigmatic arrangement in this world. As soon as a child is born, mother has milk right away. And mother doesn't have milk before that or after that. Right at the time. So who is arranging all of this? Right? There is a perfect arrangement in the mechanism of the bodies that exist. So who actually arranged all of this? So there is food for the child as soon as he is born. So in this way, there is we may not, it's all miraculous in a way. We may just accept as a truth, as a fact. But there is, assume all the air is gone one day. We don't survive for a minute, right? So there is so much arrangement. We just don't acknowledge, we just got used to it. But there is, there is supreme controller who is actually making sure everything is arranged for us. Yeah. So now we'll understand through these few question and answers. Yeah. Why should we not pray to God for bread? So a lot of people, especially in the Christian theology, they all pray for bread, right? So as a child, did you ever have to ask your father for bread? You never. I mean, it's the duty of father to take care of you, right? We just love our father, that's good enough. Father will take care of us, right? If we adamantly reject him, continuously pester him, it's a different thing. But otherwise, if you stay normal and you don't just abide by the laws of the home, you're taken care of. So similarly, we don't need to ask for bread. That is, God will take care. Just like a child is born, now this is winter season. Will the mother take care of keeping the warm clothes for the baby? Yeah. So it is, does the child really worry about it? No. So God is our father. So he is naturally obliged to take care of us. We don't need to ask for it. He knows how to arrange. We worry about it sometimes because of our misunderstanding of our relation that exists here in this world. But otherwise, God is taking care of all of us, right? So that is the lowest level of prayer. We don't need to really pray like that. Yeah. So why should we not pray to God for bread? Because it is better for us to endeavor ourselves and not become over dependent on him. it's not, I mean, yeah, it's not the perfect answer. Praying to God for bread may be superior to an atheist mentality, but it is inferior to those who focus on love of God. Yeah, it is close. Good answer. We can pray to God for bread, but we should pray for bread with love. No, there is no, prayer for bread with love, right? So bread is an example for that matter. You don't necessarily ask for anything. Understand, your father gives the best, wants the best for you, always, isn't it? Doesn't father want the best for you, right? So without you asking himself, he knows. All we need to is to just reciprocate. Thank you, or express your love by serving him. That's it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Archit here on the
Yes.
call. Prabhuji, I have a question. So, you mentioned that the kids or the babies would ask parents and parents would understand, but sometimes, I mean, babies would cry when they are hungry or in discomfort in early stages since they cannot communicate, and that's when uh, the parents would know that, the baby is in need. So, and considering Krishna as our supreme father,
Mhm.
uh, shouldn't one ask or reach out to him when they are in discomfort or are in need of help?
Yes, definitely you can. Yeah, if it is better to reach out to God than anything else. Yeah, definitely. You do your best in terms of endeavor, and yeah, it's not the highest, but it's okay. Even in Bhagavatam, there is a verse about this, that whatever you may be asking, whether you are asking for moksha or if you are asking for liberation, or you want material things, right? Akama sarvakamova moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yadesha purusham param. So that verse says, akama, you don't have any desires. Sarvakama, or you have all material desires. Moksha kama, or you are desiring moksha, irrespective of all of that. If you reach, if you approach God with love, right? Moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena. But if you perform bhakti seriously, God will, first clear your material aspects of the desires. For example, when there is the story of Dhruva Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, have you heard about Dhruva, King Dhruva? So I think we already studied about that here, right? So he got very upset with his stepmother, and in a jiff of anger, he just goes out. He's a son of a royal king. He has that Kshatriya passion, right? So he goes out saying, I will get a kingdom bigger than my father. And then his mother says, if you want anything, only God can give you. And then he goes out and prays to God. He's praying to God, but his motivation is getting a kingdom. And when God appears, he does very sincere devotion service. When God appears, he says, when he sees God, all his desires are gone. He feels like, oh, I am asking for pieces of glass when the diamond is before me. God is before the. So then he feels, very bad about the desires he had or the animosity he had for his stepmother. Because he got purified. But because, in that whatever material desire he had, still he has approached God sincerely. So by the way, he gets the kingdom, Dhruva planet. He gets everything because God just wanted to make sure he gets everything he wanted. But in the process, because he went to God, he got purified. So it's better to go to the Supreme God only, Achit, rather than, going to politicians or, some other demigods. It's better to go to Krishna only. Especially if, practically speaking, if you have material desires, go and express before God. That is what I was recommended, instead of just keeping it to your heart, because that keeps popping all the time. It's better to go and ask. You have some health issue, better to express, saying that, if this health issue is solved, maybe I'll be able to give more time to, or more focused attention to Bhagavad Gita. So you can, so with a desire to increase your, spiritual connection, you can pray. Just keep the motive right.
Got it. Thanks, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Mike.
Approach demigods when you are on the path of bhakti. You
Yes.
might approach otherwise become not given.
Yeah. So it is like, suppose if somebody wants a cigarette, right? If he goes to a shopkeeper and pays the money, he will give you. He doesn't ask, So demigods are in charge of facilities, right? Somebody is Varuna for water or rain, Vayu for air, and their demigods are all in charge of various facilities in the material existence. They are all like ministers in a cabinet. And there are procedures of worship to appease the demigods, right? There is so many vratas, pujas. You want to get married, there is a specific vrata. Yeah, for everything, almost in Vedas, 90% is all this only. Karma Kanda, it's called. So you can get it, but they are like the shopkeeper, right? They don't look for what is good for you. They'll give it to you right away. But if you go and ask your father cigarette, what will he say? Abhi nahi, baad mein dekhenge. Or he'll get something, he'll give something else, right? So it is like that. So demigods may be pleased with your thing and they'll give you whatever you want. So that's why Ravana, he didn't go to Vishnu. Where did he go? He went to Brahmaji, or he goes to Shivaji. So they all go to demigods only. They'll never go to Krishna or Vishnu. So that's why they have, and one of them actually, I forgot the name of the demon. He wanted a boon whereby he just puts his hand and the other person dies. And yeah, Bhasmashura, I think. Yeah, so he prays to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is pleased, he is obliged to give now. He gave the boon and he want to test on Lord Shiva only. So that is how foolish people can get. So that is how demigod worships are. Yeah. So it doesn't purify your heart. For example, see Dhruva or anybody who approached, Vishnu or Krishna or one of the incarnations, they get purified in the process. Yeah. Yes. Yes. For if you have any problems with your, charts, again, reading Bhagavatam or, reading, they recommend Vishnu Sahasranam or Harinam actually. Chanting one holy name is equivalent to chanting 1,000 names of, the entire Vishnu Sahasranam. So chant Hare Krishna, that is the highest, but not with the motive of getting rid of the remedy. If you do that, you will see a difference. All these challenges, they become very minor. They will come still. For example, you have as per your karma, you have to break your back or go through a major accident. It will come as a small accident, minor thing. Karma will get as it comes as a token, right? Have that faith, right? And continuously chant, keep your faith in the holy name, and Krishna will take care. Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham, Krishna says, right? So, see, you just Ananyas Chintayantoma, if you worship me without any distraction or deviation, full faith in me, I will take care of you. Krishna says. nobody can assure you in this world except for God, right? So there was one great devotee, Anantacharya. So he was like about 300 years back. He was in, I think, in some Tamil Nadu. So Anantacharya was a great devotee of Krishna. So he was reading this sloka, Ananyas Chintayanto Yajana Pariyupasate Tesham Ityabhyuktanam Yogakshema Vahamiham. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So he got a doubt. Does really Krishna take care of everyone like that? Maybe, it's not 100%. He just, draws a line on that, crosses that. And he's a Brahmana. In those days, Brahmanas, would go and, chant the holy names and, spread the word of God. And people of the world, they give rice or whatever. They are taken care like that. So that day he goes out and he begs. He gets nothing that day. So after a long time, in the meantime, his wife is at home. So this person in the morning, he already cut the line, maybe that line is not 100% correct. Krishna, maybe that line is misspoken. And he goes for, his duty of getting the alms that day. And in the meantime, there are two boys come, one dark complexion, one white complexion. They carry a lot of loads. They carry rice, dals, so many food items. And they deliver to the wife of the Brahmana, Anantacharya. So so the wife comes out and sees, and then she asks, "Who are you?" And the boys say, "We are disciples of Anantacharya." And then she was worried, you are so small and he gave such a big load. He's so cruel. She feels like that inside. And then she takes them. And then she says, initially she says, I'll not take this. And then the boy says, "Oh, if you don't take, our teacher will punish us. He already punished us." He punished you. You are so, so innocent looking, and how can he punish you? If you don't believe, the boy in the blue, he turns back, and on his back there are big lines, right? And then Anantacharya's wife gets really mad. How can how can he do this? She becomes really angry, and she actually takes, some butter, and she applies to the boys, and the boys leave after that. And then, she goes on her chores, she cooks. The items come like they are from Vaikuntha. Everything is so delicious. And in the evening, Anantacharya comes back and he doesn't get anything that day. And in the meantime, he asks, his wife, his wife would not look at him because she is really upset for the punishment he has given to the boys, right? She wouldn't mind. She would just, do her duty. She would eat herself. And then he was surprised how, my wife is behaving very strangely today. And then he asks, "What happened? How are you eating? I didn't give you anything today." "Yeah, your disciples came and gave," she says. "What? I don't have any disciples." "No, but you have disciples, that is fine, but why did you beat them?" Then Anantacharya goes back to look at his book. He has striken those lines to prove that. Then he understands, actually Lord Krishna and Balaram came and personally delivered these food items. And he was in tears, literally, that she had that, that experience of serving Lord Krishna directly. So after that, he realized, such a mistake I made, and Lord Krishna has to directly come and, take care of me like this. So in that way, so God will take care of us. We don't need to worry. We just need to love, right? So that's our duty as children of God.
So, isn't it, let's say we want something and the demigod can provide us. So, isn't it better to like, get that so that we are satisfied and we can focus on praying God better? So, if we have some health issue, like you said, and there's a demigod that's solving it, if we focus on the health issue, won't it be better so that it will be easier for us to make that complication will go away?
Yeah, but in our case, suppose you are there, you have contacts, you have direct contact with, say, Prime Minister of India. He's your, somehow you got some close connection. And you have a problem with a particular, irrigation department in your city. One option is you can directly go to the irrigation department in charge, the cabinet minister, and get his work done. But he has no relation with you. You might bribe him or pay him and you get it done. That is one way. But you have a direct relation with Prime Minister. You are developing, you are working towards that. In your case, you have a special privilege to actually directly go to Prime Minister and he will directly order the cabinet minister. You don't need to directly deal with the cabinet minister because you have a privilege, right? So in one sense,
But why did I bother the Prime Minister to solve this?
yeah, you can say that, but if there are issues where you want to directly, deal with the Prime Minister, you may, if you're facing some hurdles or something, you have the access. It's not a perfect analogy. What I'm trying to say is, see that as you have direct access to God and he knows what is best for you and he will give what is best for you. So even Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Kamasthaister Hritaknya Prapanchante Anya Devata. So those who go to demigods, driven by material desires. A lot of people, they don't go because of, some genuine problem. They are after some material desire. They want gold, they want this and that, and they go to demigod and try to somehow get it. Mainly for them, it's, they may fulfill those material desires for the short term, but for the long term, it's not the good thing. Sometimes with the proper understanding of, God is, who Krishna is, and who demigods as their agents of God. Sometimes it is not absolutely wrong if you have the proper understanding. With that understanding, if you go, that is okay. But if you, okay, now I just changed my gears and now I'm completely towards demigod. That's what people do. If I'm not getting everything from Krishna, I'll shift to demigod. So that we should not do. So a lot of people in India, they're pious people. On Monday they go to Hanuman temple. On Tuesday, or Tuesday they go to Hanuman temple. So like that they go to one particular Devata's temple on a particular day. So nobody feels obliged, Yeah, he's also going to. So even they won't come together when you are in trouble, right? He's also going to other demigod. Maybe he will take care. But if you are somebody who are worshipping and depending on only say Balaji also knows, he's like completely dependent on me. I'll be there for him any day.
Differentiate, let's say, we are praying Balaji and Balaji gives us the answer in the form of go pray with this temple. And how do we differentiate that?
We need to, so that could be mental speculation also, right? Generally, there is no, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself directly says, no need to worship demigods because it generally happens with a convoluted understanding of who is God and who is demigod. So that suggestion wouldn't come. So if it comes, it means it is just, you can double check with a devotee. Generally, it's not the way that happens. Any other questions? Good discussion. Mike.
God for bread, right? So what if we are in a near-death situation or like a calamity situation? We know that we are going to die any second now. About that time, that's
At that time, what? Specifically about food or? Come to Hare Krishna temple.
We are not just talking about bread, right?
Yeah. No. No. When you are in trouble, Krishna is the person to go to. Keep that focus. That's fine. Like I said already, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi. With that full intention that, with this problem solved, it only helps me focus more on devotion. If you have that, right attitude, perfectly all right. For any problem, you can go to Krishna. Right? I mean, he is the shelter for you. So better definitely go to him rather than anybody else. Yeah. But when your consciousness itself matures to a very high level of understanding, that time you understand Krishna already knows my situation, because he is in my heart. He is in my Paramatma. He knows very well. And he just focuses on the right thing, and Krishna takes care automatically. So the point is, Krishna is aware of your situation 100%. And he is doing already the best for you. You just need to reciprocate. We are thinking, maybe Krishna doesn't know, I need to explain him. But he's not like us. He's, Sarvagyapi. He knows everything. He's within our heart. Yeah. See, to get to that level, in realization takes time. We are not at that level. We're all on that path. But when we get there, we can clearly see. But still people want to explain. Sometimes we know how to do things, but still, like for example, parents, they know the child has to get up, but still they go and wake up. We still want to express, because that is what is in the top of our mind. We don't stop, we just keep expressing. That's our nature. Yeah. Yeah. This we read? No, okay. What if somebody says they have no interest or need to love Krishna? Okay. A. One who is not interested in supreme hero, God becomes attracted to God, becomes attracted to tiny perishable heroes of this world. Correct? That's correct, right? If you are not attracted to God, because the nature of the soul is to be attracted to something, to love something. You cannot stop it. It has to go to something. So you see, especially in America, people feel that unconditional love with dog. You may not believe it. That's why they keep a dog. A lot of people, that is their stress buster at home. Because they don't have anything higher, frankly. They don't have that much, loving family relations. So generally they have a dog to express all their love. And when the dog comes with, wiggling tail and, crawling on your body, they feel that natural love. So, but one can develop far greater, deeper love and, the conscious connection with God that people don't realize. Yeah. So it is ultimately the choice of anyone to have interest or not have interest, accept or not accept God. Of course, it is a choice, but the other choices are all very low compared to that, right? So it's no point in trying that. As law abiders live as peaceful citizens, sticking to laws of state, and lawbreakers are put in jail. One who has no interest to love and serve God automatically serves Maya. Right? That's correct. So if you are not serving God, you are serving illusory energy of God. Love and serve God, or love and serve dog or Maya. Yeah. To love and serve is our natural dharma. Yeah, this is also correct. So A, C, and D. Since great sportsmen, Bollywood actors and actresses attract millions, can't we call them God? Every one of them is controlled by some superior. Nobody can claim themselves supreme controller. Correct. Nobody can claim. Can the richest people claim I control everything? No. For someone to be called God, they should be full in all six opulences: beauty, wealth, etc. Nobody other than Bhagavan can be said to be full in all six opulences or even one of six opulences. Not even one opulence can one have in full. Right? That's correct. So why why not love God only? He is the supreme. We are all attracted to anybody only because of what they have in one of these, right? Either beauty, wealth, name, fame. We are attracted to only of that. So why not love God who is full in all six opulences? And he's not just like a controller who owns all the opulences. He's also a loving father, right? He's a father also for us, right? So if you are looking for an object of love, there is nothing superior than God himself. Yeah. So the beauty, power, wealth, etc. of great heroes becomes zeros with passing time with their death. Correct. We all have that experience. Right? So the greatest or the strongest people, right? Who is the Muhammad Ali, right? He's like, at his time, he has such name and fame in 70s. He was seen like a god. But the same person, like 25 years later, he got Parkinson's disease and he can't even lift Olympic torch. The same person who was considered the strongest man. And nowadays, nobody even talks about him. People forget, right? So these are fleeting gods. So God's opulences are imperishable and complete. Therefore, we can't call actors and sportsmen God. Correct. So many answers are correct. So another question is, do we understand God is a person or imperson? That a lot of people confuse, because person means limitation. Like, I have a body, I have a limited understanding, I have a limited consciousness. So as soon as we call somebody as a person, we impose limitations, right? So the question is, what is the proof that God is a person? Sure.
Fourth question. Yeah. Ultimately, the choice of anyone to have interest or not have interest, right? So, this free will that Krishna gives, even though we know with basic intelligence what is the choice, that free will which lures you to make a choice in the opposite direction, even though you know it is not what is meant to be. Why does Krishna give that free will for living? Everything is in this creation, everything is here for us to realize our true form. Our true purpose. When the free will is given for you to decide, right, it will be easier.
Make the wrong choice.
Because very well we know that we make the wrong choices, right? And that choice also is given by Krishna, right? For you to either choose to realize who he is or continue to get stuck in the cycle. That free will alone
is the problem.
It's much easier if we have an authoritarian father who is very strict, because considering us making the same mistake life over life.
Yeah. Let me answer that.
Right.
So, without free will, suppose, can there be true love between two living entities? Yeah. If you want to, you and your friend are there. If he is the controller, can he be the controller of you? Can you love him if he is the controller of everything? Yeah, you must have a choice to love him or not. Then only there can be love. If there is no choice, there is no love. So the God and the living entities are related by in the similar way. If we have no, so we all have a free choice to love or not. Now, whether we make the right choice is our choice, but that free will must exist. So we are individual jiva, and individuality means free will. So without that individuality, like it's a complete autocratic control, and nobody feels, nobody can express love, and there is no exchange of love itself. So without free will. So for that factor, we all have free will. And that is our natural constitution. Free will is embedded in the soul. It's our true nature. So that we can express love. Yeah. Make sense? Yeah.
Absolute not be zero or one. Because controller must have brain. Without brain, how can you control? And as soon as you have got brain, you have what other limbs of the body
Carry out.
carry out the order of the brain. Therefore, the absolute controller cannot be impersonal. From our practical life, we see government. Government is an impersonal word, but behind the government, there is a prime minister or person. A person is required who will apply his brain. So how can the whole cosmic manifestation be controlled without brain? That's not very reasonable. We all have a head and a heart physically. Also figuratively, a heady person is intelligent and a hardy person is sensitive to others. Be the balance of the two to be a complete personality. You can see from God's creation his intelligence as well as emotions. Thus, with the head and heart, God's beautiful person.
Yeah. So based on the nature we can observe, there is so much control, like the seasons or anything in this existence. We can see there is so much control. So there must be some greater brain behind all of this. So there must be brain, and there is also natural beauty we see. So there must be a loving heart, right? So with both these qualities exist only in a person. So there must be some individual there. So that we call as God. So there must be a head and a heart. So that person is God. Yeah.
Yeah, we agree. And I also feel there is no one as jolly as Krishna. Playing on his flute, surrounded by clouds, the earthquake of monkeys and Yamuna river beginning. He is really a cool god, the traffic god, and the lover of God. And he loves his friend Sudama unconditionally. And he is quite different from other gods who can attack anyone or having to be busy creating universes. At the same time, some of our friends arouse a doubt in my mind by asking, if he seems to be hurting cows and playing cowherd boys, how could he be the main god, source of everything?
So even Lord Brahma got confused when he saw Lord Krishna playing with other gopas, taking food from their hand, eating, right? So how can he be God? Brahma himself confused. Who was the creator of the whole universe? So he tried to play with Krishna. He stole his friends, but he got a lesson after that. So we also may feel, how can Bill Gates is building this big company with so many hobbies. He must be more smart. Krishna just a coward boy, playing with his calves and boys. How can he be God? But let's read. So that is his home atmosphere. At his home, even the prime minister at his home, what does he do? He might be carrying his grandchild on the back. Doesn't mean he's not prime minister. He is a prime minister at home. Yeah. So now we'll understand that. God in office and God at home.
I told you the word from Vishnu Purana. It said,
Aishwaryascha samagrasya
consequences. But in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find Krishna claims, Okara,
Yajna tapasa sarvaloka maheshwaram.
Bhagavad Gita 5.1. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, supreme proprietor of all the lokas. That is admitted by the Shastra. Krishna is God at home and Vishnu is God at office. If you find the military officer on the battalion appears with uniform cap, belt, gun, shoes, stars, right, etc. Same officer at home won't be showing his hands by person. Also, he may be wearing a lungi and banyan relaxing, then he will stay at home. Krishna and Krishna are like that.
Yeah, Vishnu is God in office. You see, people worship with strict standards. If you notice, Sri Vaishnava worship, that is worshipping God in office, something like that, right? So he'll be performing his duties, but at his home, the same Prime Minister is at. So we specifically worship God at home. So even in devotion, there are so many variations. You see, so we specifically worship the God at home, right? So loving God. Ram.
So there is a thing to go. I think it is like our PM of India in Parliament and PM at home. Is it not?
Absolutely right. You like a father and officer at home, father.
So naturally, I love my father at home.
Therefore, the form of Krishna and Vrindavan is most common to God of all. The God gives opportunity for all jivas to access him in his sweetest aspect and be a part of his playful, sportive, joyful pastimes. And Vaikuntha is the master of all devotees. Going back to God and joint eternal service to God is ultimate goal of life.
Yeah.
It is really worth inspiring for to go back to God and dance with God carefully with no science fiction, job fiction, only I will see a joyful life for all people. But I see most human beings in the world chasing after sense gratification of caught up in their worldly beauty with no plan for going back to God. They seem to have forgotten their goal of life altogether.
Yeah. Is God personal or impersonal? Give reasons for your answers. Behind impersonal government, there is PM, Prime Minister. Similarly, behind all energies, God, the energetic, must be personal and not impersonal. Is that correct? Yes. So, impersonal cannot be the highest truth, basically. There must be something behind it. Impersonal means energy, not energetic. God is impersonal because he cannot be limited by form like ordinary humans. That's wrong. God, if God is the supreme, proprietor and control of everything, he can also appear in the small body and can still be the supreme. You see, he can appear in a small body and still be the supreme. God is all powerful. So we don't impose our understanding. We see a human body with a limited capabilities. Now we think God, when he comes in this form, he is also like me. No, that is wrong. That is imposing our limitations on God. God can be the controller of everything. Still, he can be in this form and still be the controller of everything. You see? So that's the right understanding. So God is personal because he cannot be the ultimate controller without a brain. Yeah. So he must have a brain, right? So that's it. A person with head and heart has to be a person, not impersonal. Yeah. So we can understand a person with a head and heart. So we can see in God both a head and a heart. So he must be a person. A, C, and D. Yeah.
Government and the government there is and so we understand behind the energy there is a message. So it is not an assembly process.
Ascending why? Oh, that is inference. Inference, yeah. You can use inference sometimes, just it's an analogy. just for our understanding. Yeah, that's not the only way to acquire knowledge. Yeah. Some wonder how Krishna, who herds cows, the ultimate God. What do you think? Okay. Yeah, this is the same God at home. So since Krishna has a human look, I think he could be counted amongst special human beings. He's not just a special human being or a powerful human being. He's the supreme God himself. So this is called speculation. Speculation means projecting what our mind can think at most. But he is not like that. He is the supreme God himself. Aishwaryasya samagrasya means Krishna owns all wealth. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram means he is the Lord of all planets. Therefore, Krishna is God. Yeah. So the same Bhagavad Gita shlokas speak about these qualities of God, right? Yeah. So he may not exhibit those in Vrindavan because Vrindavan is at his home. So he behaves differently at his home. Where he want to, at home, why we go to home? Because we want to have loving exchange with our family, with our mother, father, sister, brother, right? So home is a different atmosphere. Like military officer at home appears simple, Lord Krishna in Vrindavan appears simple, right? That's correct. So in Vrindavan, God gives opportunity for all jivas to access him in his sweetest aspect. You see, this is the secret of bhakti. Why we worship Krishna in Vrindavana? In the mood of the greatest devotees, gopis, is because that is the sweetest exchange one can experience as jiva with God. So we want to achieve that. So that is the path that Gaudiya Vaishnavism that we practice here is specifically in that direction. So experience the sweetest love with God. So we are already at 1:30. We'll end here. We'll continue this from page 7 next week. Thank you, Archit Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
We'll end. I think we have to take prasadam now.